HBCU Drumline Talk. Once again, my name is Ricardo, and I'm joined by my good friend, my brother in percussion, EP the Great. We know him as Elijah Powell. Man, Elijah, we have covered some miles. I think back to our first episode, and here we are, episode 19, and we have traveled all the way across the country, back and forth, back and forth. But we have talked to some fantastic folks. We've had some fantastic guests on our podcast to really talk about their drum lines, to shed some light on HBCU culture and in its entirety. So one thing I'd like to say on this, has been a pleasure, EP, to have you on with me at this point. You got anything to say before we get on?
No, man, like I said, we've been all over, Florida,
Delaware,
North Carolina,
Texas,
yeah, Alabama. So covered a lot of schools,
covered a lot of ground.
You got a lot more to go.
A lot more to go. Still a lot more work to do. And for our viewers out there tonight we have we're back in Alabama, and we have two gentlemen here, and we're going to talk about Talladega College tonight and the Renegade Rebels. And that is the name of their drumline. And we have Mr. Swain, who is the percussion instructor. Am I correct with that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Swain, who's a percussion instructor, and Draylon Hicks. I'll let Mr. Hicks tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, named Draylon Hicks, of course. I crabbed in 17, snare drummer. I became section leader in 2019, and I actually took a semester off. Then I came back, and now I'm assistant section leader for this upcoming fall.
Good. Thank you. So welcome. We want to welcome you guys to HBCU Drumline Talk, and we're going to jump right on into it. And we have a couple questions here. Mr. Swain, how did you get your start in percussion?
Really, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. A lot of people don't know that, but I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I went to Mondays Mill High School in Clayton County, and I graduated from Mount Zion High School, is also in Clayton County, Georgia. When I first moved to Georgia, I was born in St. Petersburg, Florida. So I was born in Florida, moved because my family, my stepdad, at the time was my stepdad, but got married, moved all around, moved from Florida to Germany, stayed there for 2 years, moved back to Florida, moved ended up staying in Georgia. So once I got to Georgia, basically Drumline, this is when it came out. I was in sixth grade. I want to say I was in sixth grade when Drumline came out. So Drumline was a real influence to me. But the funny thing about me even, trying to play drums, I joined the middle school band, West Clayton Middle School, when I was in sixth grade. My first instrument, I actually wanted to play saxophone. Funny story about that. Went to the music store. They didn't have any saxophones there. The only thing they had was the drum kit. So I had to get that. So that pretty much, just from there, in seventh grade, I started marching with the local high school, which is North Clayton High School. So I got a little experience. I played bass drum. So I was a little kid playing bass drum. So I pretty much started from there as far as the marching aspect. I started in middle school. So once I, got to experience that, got exposed to that, I just kept on with it. Something I love to do.
Oh, good. Oh, and let me stop. Let me cut in real quick. I know she mentioned the movie Drumline. Hey, Mr. Cannon, don't think we forgot. My boy hit you up with the email. My boy hit you up with the email.
I reached out to him.
Y'all send him a message.
Yeah, we need to get him on as a guest. I mean, his movie, started a lot of people wanting to play.
Yes.
We reached out to him, get him on. We haven't heard none yet, but.
Well, Mr. Cannon, we're waiting for you. Okay, Mr. Hicks, good. Thank you, Mr. Hicks.
Music has been running in my family for a long time. So I started messing with instruments around the age of 3 or 4. I started off with piano, just started playing a little bit. Got my first drum set at around 4 years old, I believe. Then as far as percussion, I wanted to play trumpet at first, honestly. I wanted to play trumpet. But we had auditions in my sixth grade band. And it was like ratings from 1 through 10. When I tried to blow into the trumpet mouthpiece, I couldn't get, it was nothing but air. Just straight air. I couldn't get a sound out for nothing. So my band director, he made me pick up some sticks, told me to do some alternating strokes, do something. I forgot what he told me to do, and I scored a perfect 10. And ever since then, I just been playing drums.
Good. Thank you.
Cool. I guess in my opinion, y'all made good decisions to stay off the horns and play.
Yeah, real good.
Scholarship wise, we did it, but I mean, overall, yeah.
Good.
All right, so going to the next question. You guys, have a lot of numbers, a lot of people on the line. How many open spots do you have each year?
Well, I can say this. Yes, like everybody knows, we have a lot of people in our section. But with that being said, one thing I try to do is to make sure that everybody has opportunity to play. That's even if it's on campus, we're doing a little function. It might be a field show. We might need somebody to swap out in the field show. So I don't want people to more or less look on the outside with outside looking in. How are these people coming here? How are they able to play? We still, give people opportunities to play. But as far as like spot wise, we don't never have like just because you're an upperclassman returning, coming back for the next year, that does not mean that you automatically are going to play. That's one thing I constantly tell them. Draylon can vouch for that is, as far as when he came, just what's going on now. Just because you come back, does not mean you're going to play. If a freshman comes in that's better than you and they're doing what they need to do and academically and, on their drum, they're going to play before you. That's just what it is. So, I mean, as far as spots, we always have spots. We march a certain amount. We march 16 snares. We march 16 snares. We march eight tenors, 8 basses. We just recently switched as far as the bass drum. We started marching 10 bass drums. This coming up fall, we're going to march 10 tenors as well. With the cymbals, it really varies. We try to stick to 16. That's our, regular number is 16 cymbals. But sometimes, we have more that goes back to the spots, opportunities, are open. So if you have somebody that's, wants to play, that's eager to play and do what they need to do, I'll give the opportunity for them to play.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's a powerful message right there. And I just want to say thank you for relaying that message in regards to opportunity.
Oh yeah, I get that. I get that a lot. That a lot.
Giving folks the opportunity to play. And with the open spots, like you said, it's not about spots, it's about giving someone the chance, right?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay, so we understand, like you pretty much hit on with 16 snares, 8 tenors, and that's upright tenors, chest tenors, right?
Yes.
Do you guys utilize the quads? I should say
actually, funny story about that. We attempted to implement quints into our drum section in 2015, but as far as the direction that our band director, Dr. Miguel Bonds, was going in, it wasn't fitting what we was trying to do. So we pretty much, we tried it. That I think it was like I want to say it was like a couple of months, to be honest. The last, you can look it up on YouTube. The last performance we have for what's playing with quints was Midnight Madness against Southern. We marched in with quints. That was our last performance using quints. So as far as what we're doing, as far as the section wise, it's not working right now with us. It's not.
Yes. And good. And I'm glad you pointed that out. So, Mr. Hicks, this question is directed towards you, and obviously you're the drumline captain, snare captain, correct?
Yes, sir.
And with the numbers that you guys have, 16 snares, 8 to 10 tenors, 16 cymbals, 8 basses. When you're in the drum line, do you have challenging with phasing? And what I mean by phasing is that you're standing in one position, but the bass drums are way down here, and the cymbals players might be way up the other way. Mm-hmm. Do you have any challenges with that delay in sound?
So not really, honestly. I think we gel together real nice, if you know what I mean.
I do.
I don't think we have any issues with phasing, honestly.
Okay, that's really good. That's really good. I've talked to some other folks and seen some other drum lines who are of size and everything, and they might have some challenges with there's especially with like marching per se. There's a delay. Yeah. In the sound.
Let's say I can answer that too. As far as my outlook. The only time that I really can say we had phasing, well, only 2 times. The first time is, we're a parade band majority of things we do are marching down the street. We do parades. So with that being said, with our big section, we're so spread it out So we might have, a delay sometimes between the cymbals being all the way in the front and you have the bass drums all the way in the back. So it might be some type of delay. But that goes back to why we had so many cymbals, and that's why we had so many, cymbal players, and why we had so many snare players, to make sure that we try to keep it in between where you can hear what's going on, but you're not lost to what's going on. But a lot of the students get more or less adjusted to how it sounds. It might sound kind of off sometimes. We have some cases that sound kind of off, but once you get adjusted and used to, what we're doing, then you be like, okay, yeah, that's how it's supposed to sound. It might sound kind of crazy, but that's how it's supposed to sound. You feel what I'm saying?
Good. I'm glad you clarified that. Thank you. Thank you. The next thing, just moving right along. So we talked about that, and Mr. Hicks, with this in regards to the audition process, right? You probably have a lot of seniors in high school coming that think about being a part of Talladega's Drumline, Renegade Rebels. Can you walk us through the audition process, or is that something that Mr. Swain, actually, you guys work together
on? I would definitely let Swain answer that question for you.
Okay.
Well, as far as the audition process, one thing that I do say when I go out to, recruit students, we're not the typical HBCU band program as far as how we go out and do auditions. I say that the simple fact because you might have some students that might be a little nervous, or they're unsure about, certain rudiments or the whole aspect of the audition process, because it's you be nervous. So, I mean, certain things as far as like certain rudiments, of course, you need to know certain rudiments, basically. But if you can't read certain things, or if you can't, you don't know your scales, or you're not, you don't feel like you're mentally prepared to try to play them right then and there, I will give you, opportunity to get a scholarship. And then once, you come on campus, or you decide that you got the hang of what you need to do for the audition process, I will, give you some more to, make sure that you're taken care of financially when it comes to scholarship wise. So with the audition process, I mean, we're not looking for, you have to play all 40 rudiments. You have to do the most. Yes. I mean, yes, that's good for you to know, but at the same time, like, we just more or less want you to come, and we'll take care of the rest as far as teaching you what you need to know. Because we get a lot of students that, I mean, they're not the best, but we have the best at the same time, So we pretty much deal with what we have, and we try to put out a good representation of what we have, what we're dealing with.
And that's a good point. So you bring that up, and it's more of a nurturing environment. Come on in, and we'll build you up.
Yes, it's most
okay.
Definitely.
Good. Thank you.
What's I guess an average number of freshmen y'all get in?
This past, even with COVID, this past we had 60. We had 60 freshmen come in for the drum section.
Wow.
And the average is about like 40, 50. So I mean, it's pretty much in that range, honestly.
Yeah. Y'all doing something right.
And that's what I'm trying to tell people. I mean, like how we started the conversation off as far as, us having this massive section, but students want to come, and I'm not finna, tell somebody they can't come to Talladega. Like I said, of course, it matters about, your playing ability, but at the end of the day, we're graduating students, and they're coming here. They might not be that good on their instrument, but we keep them around and make sure they get where they need to be, and they get up out the door, and that's to get that, that degree. Get up out of school. Man.
I was having a conversation last night, and probably the best section leaders is the ones that probably not the best player. They can lead very well.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah. And I would say even with that I can put myself in that category. I wasn't the best, but once I came, once I matriculated and learned the things that I learned as far as how to lead people, I became that person that was in that position to lead.
Okay. So talk to us about the evolution, of the drumline from the past 6 years to the present. Like, you can include choice of heads, changes in drum companies, etc.
Okay, so I can take it back to 2012 when the band first started. I didn't come to Talladega until 2013. So that was my first year at Talladega College, 2013. So when I got there, before I got there, 2012, the band was heavily, pretty much the Southern University, basically, because of the direction, that Miguel Bonds was wanted his section to be. Well, not more or less what he wanted the section to be. He had to take what he can get at that, at that time. So as far as with drum heads, we were on dots. Snares are playing on dots. The tenors are playing on dots. The bass drums are playing on dots. That's the type of sound that was going for, at that time. So, once I came to Talladega, me and Dr. Bonds had a conversation as far as when I became a section leader in the direction that he wanted the section to go in, as far as how they sound, the things that he wanted, to implement within the section. So that, the first thing I said is we need to, get rid of these heads. And when we got rid of the heads, it might sound something small, as drum heads, but when we changed our heads, we influenced more people to actually look at what we had going on at Talladega, because we didn't look like Southern anymore. We looked like we were trying to get our own identity, more or less. Even when we changed our bass drum heads, that was more or less the students. That is something I didn't want. With the power, with the fiber skins, I didn't want fiber skins. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I didn't want fiber skins. But that goes back to the students' input. Is very heavy here at Talladega. So I mean, that's something that they wanted, and that's something that we're just gonna stick to. That's gonna be something that we never change. So as far as the heads, it was more or less, it was time for evolving and the sound and more or less the look. And that goes back to the drums too. With the drums, we're not leaving Dynasty. We're always, be faithful to Dynasty, because the relationship that we have with them, they take care of us. If we have anything that needs to be fixed, they, do what they need to do. Even when we ordered our drums, they pushed them out quick. So as far as with the relationship with the drums wise, I love the Dynasty drums, but as far as, we have practice drums that are pearls. We have pearl drums as well as our practice drums. Okay. But more or less, just it's like a different sound. You should know, as far as if different drums, different sound. So as far as sound wise, that was the type of sound that we were going for at Talladega.
Okay. You mentioned fiber skin heads. Imagine Virginia State having those. And we did, when me and Rick marched, we wasn't playing the same things, that we playing now, but we still had some couple tonals. But imagine that. I really do. One of my best friends, Jeffrey Sharp, he's the instructor at Fort Valley. He's trying to get him on here. Okay. He kind of mentioned having power strokes tonals. And I'm pretty sure we've been out there before, but I've never seen it. I'm 31 years old. I've never seen nobody do that. I feel like that would have been actually cool. Now you sitting here telling me, y'all did that. But this is in the late 90s. It was a last minute thing. We couldn't get our regular heads, so that's what we had to use. But okay, we got the other heads. We took them jokers off. Yeah. So I guess it didn't work. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mr. Swain, you said a couple of things here, and I'm glad Mr. Hicks is on. And this really points out to what type of instructor you are, and I give all praise to this as well. Allowing the students to have choices over, the type of sound that they want and the type of heads that they want for, the bass drum line. So they chose fiber skins heads, and that's the sound that you guys have been going with, and that's really good, because some instructors will pretty much put that iron fist down and say, hey, look, this is what we're doing. This is what we're going to roll with. So I give you thanks for that. And it's pretty good, Mr. Hicks, to have someone in your corner that's really flexible like that.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's my boy.
So this question is for both who want to chime in first. How did the name Renegade Rebels come about?
Okay. I don't know how to say this, but at the same time, in 2012, we had the band had started in 2012. 2013, when I got there wasn't really like an established name, more or less. So like in 2014, the type of demeanor that the band was in, the whole we're in your face, we don't care, the how everybody looked at Talladega at that time. I was just sitting in my room, pretty much just thinking about, some some names that will fit what we got going on as far as the demeanor of everybody that was in the section and stuff like that. And I just came up with Renegades. Like, we just, rebellious, everybody going, pretty much hate, pretty much at that time, I was in, school. It's like everybody hate us. So, we're just going to be a rebellious section. And we're just going to have that in your face, not going to let you play. We're just going to, talking trash, to a certain extent, but just that whole aspect of our section. And then with it being massive, it's just like you just have, we're just Renegade Rebels. It's pretty much, it's nothing, in detail, but it's more or less a name, but at the same time, it has some meaning as far as how the section was when we first started everything.
Dre, you want to chime in like you want to say something?
You took the words out of my mouth. Representing the section well.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Good. So there's a couple of things that I've noticed just about Talladega's Drumline, and you guys have done some great things during this whole year of COVID, right? And we know the difficulties that a lot of schools have had with just keeping numbers as well. And one thing I commend you guys on, I think you guys will be the first to just say, hey, look, we did the first COVID battle against Miles. We was out there, we was in it. We did we did the COVID battle against Miles, and just want you guys to really talk about how have you been able to keep your numbers up during this whole thing, during this whole COVID situation?
Do you want to go first, Draylon, or you want me to go? Because he set out in the fall.
Yeah, I wasn't here for the fall.
Yeah, he wasn't here in the fall.
Okay.
But he pretty much, was around as far as the process when we was recruiting and stuff. But more or less, it wasn't really hard to try to influence students to come, because how we recruit, we pretty much, put that it's fun at Talladega. Like, we enjoy ourselves. We do everything that you want to do. Just because of, we had COVID going on, of course, we had a bunch of, procedures in place as far as, practice times, all the testing. I'm so tired of testing, all the testing, all the things in place to make sure everything was good. All the talks with the parents to make sure that they understand that their child is going to be, taken care of. Everything is going to be good. So, it was just more or less trying to make sure that people understood that just because this is going on, this pandemic is going on, your child can more or less, it was about the parents at the end of the day. It was letting these parents know that their child is going to be okay as far as coming to Talladega. And they all, pretty much, they wanted to come, they missed it. They wanted to do band, so they pretty much came back.
So there again, it goes all back to what we talked about earlier, just that nurturing environment, being familiar with the students and having an open dialogue with the students as well as their parents and everything.
Yes.
Just a line of communication. Just want to do a sidebar real quick. Can you walk us through that day, that battle with Miles? What's the general the battle?
I found out, or the day?
Okay, hey, let's talk about both. How you found out, and just walk us through that day.
Okay, so we found out casual conversation between Dr. Bonds and Mr. Snipes. Casual, talking trash between each other. Hey, I'm gonna bring my drum section down there to battle y'all, that type of deal. So I found out a week and a half before we put out our first flyer. So we put out our first flyer. I literally had a week and a half to get all this madness together for a battle. And we normally don't do things like that, like head-to-head, like battles. We don't have a football team. So head-to-head battles usually happen for us in the springtime. So that changed the whole dynamics as far as preparing for it, making sure everybody, did what they need to do in class, because we're still on class, as far as making sure people went to class and stuff like that. So just balancing all that with COVID, it was a headache. I ain't gonna lie, it was a headache. But once it got there, I enjoyed it. Me and Carlisle, the instructor at Miles, that's one of my closest friends. He's one of my close friends too, frat brothers. He's Phi Sigma. He's KK Psi. So our relationship with as far as us two, we know each other. I knew him. He was at Alabama State. I should have said that. I went to Alabama State. I should have did my whole bio before I got on here. I went to Alabama State 2009. I played bass drum. That's when I first met Carlisle. He was playing tenor drum at Alabama State. So I've been knowing him since 2009, basically. And so we had a relationship throughout his, his tenure through Alabama State, marching there, being an instructor there, going to high school. I had some of these kids that he instructed at high school in my program at Talladega. So we have, a real close relationship. So we pretty much were just talking trash the whole time. The only thing I will say as far as the day of the battle that I did not like was the crowd pretty much just in all the space as far as trying to see the other section. That's the only thing that I didn't like about the performance. But overall, like you said, we're the only people that do something, and it hyped the students up for like, what's next? Who are you gonna play next? We had some other things set up after that of course, didn't happen, but it pretty much, it was good. I felt like it was good for both programs. We both, Miles did a great job displaying their talents. They did what they did. We did what we did. Like I said, the students enjoyed it. Afterwards, we went to the band room. We had like a whole little block party. It was hilarious. We had a whole like block party, fed them. Everybody mingled, had a good time. Like I said, it's more or less about family in Talladega. A lot of things we do is family based. As far as like everybody coming together, having fun. Like I said, band is fun, and we make the environment of the campus pretty much fun at Talladega.
Thank you. It's good points there.
Okay. So Dre, and it's for both of you, but let's see what Dre have to say. How much are the students involved in the creative process of the cadences or shows or field music?
I would say pretty much, 95%, honestly.
Okay. Cool.
Students are very, very, as far as cadences, song parts, we have our input on the shows sometimes, the drum shows that we do. Yeah, everything.
Okay.
But we can't forget about the mastermind.
Yeah, we definitely that's one thing students that we do at Talladega, people probably don't know. One thing that we started, every freshman class that comes in at Talladega is mandatory for you to come up with something. Is it a song part, if it's a marching cadence, if it's a stand cadence, if it's something, your freshman class has to come up with something to establish that you left your mark when your class first came in.
So can I ask, is that freshman class period or drumline?
That's drumline. That's drumline. Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, it's for the drum section.
I like that. It's something I never done before. I always encourage them to write, my guys do whatever, but if they don't, I don't sweat it, but yeah.
Yeah, we had like 2 years where it didn't happen, fooling around and stuff like that. But more or less, like I said, I let them come with material, but at the end of the day, and Dre can tell you, like, it's a lot of stuff that come to me. I'm like, nah, we ain't fooling with that. Yeah. Or we're gonna fix this, we're gonna do this part right here, we're gonna do this dance, add this visual, we're gonna do this, So, I give them the leeway, of course. The students, I don't want them to feel like that. It's all about me, it's about them.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I let them, have their fun, like I said, if it ain't good, nah.
Yeah, of course. And then my whole thing is like, I look young, man. So like, and I am young. I'm like I'm like old or anything. Yeah. I'm like 31. But but when a lot of students see me, they be like, you're Mr. Swain, like you don't talk to me on the phone, like you're Mr. Swain. So when they see me, like, yeah, like he looks super young. But of course you have to be on them. And they know what time it is when I have to, go off and stuff like that. But more or less, I just want them to know that it's not about me. More or less, it's not about me at all.
Cool.
Good points there. Good points. So speaking of the cadence process and everything, and you guys got a lot of freshman engagement, a lot of student engagement in how you guys write. So let's take a step back and think about, for our viewers, what division are you guys in? MAC, MEAC, SWAC?
None of the above. Our basketball team is NIAI for basketball. And right now, we don't have a football team. So as far as like conference wise, we're not in none of those conferences.
So is it fair to say that when we talked about this in some of our other episodes, we talk about those independent schools? Would it be fair to say that you guys are part in that category, the independent HBCU conference?
Yes. I mean, yes. Yeah, technically you can say that as far as like drumline wise, because, we're not part of any conference. So we're pretty much, I guess you can say independent. But I don't want to say independent because, Tennessee State, aren't they an independent school? And they have a football team, aren't they?
Okay, so I asked that because we would like to know, and I'm sure our viewers would like to know, as a drumline, who would you guys like to battle that's outside of your conference, outside of the schools that you just generally don't see?
You can answer that, Dre. You can answer that. What school you want to see next year? Put it out there.
What school do I want to see this upcoming fall? I would honestly, I'm tired of seeing Alcorn, so I don't want to see them no more.
Tired of it, huh?
But they always welcome to come get the smoke.
Yeah,
of course. I would say I want to see Fort Valley. Honestly, I would love to see Fort Valley.
We've seen them. We've seen Fort Valley.
I want to see them again. Yeah, we've seen a lot of people. We've seen a lot of people.
Okay,
but I'd like to see them again to see how they're coming this far.
So somebody you haven't seen.
Somebody we haven't seen.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen. Yeah, I guess I would say Jackson. We haven't seen them.
Jackson State. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good. So
I say A&M.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I say Alabama A&M. That's what I want to see.
We haven't seen them either.
Tried
though. So a little bonus question: who in the MEAC would y'all want to see?
I would want to see North Carolina Central.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay.
Because I love the direction that they're going in.
Okay. Dre?
I would say South Carolina State.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Some good matchups there. Maybe that happened one day.
But Mr. Powell, what's up with Virginia State? What's up with you guys?
I'm glad you said something because you guys. I don't know. This is what I heard from Mr. Whitehead. You guys are supposed to come to one of our games. Was it 2 years ago?
Yep.
Something happened. We was waiting on it. That's all I'm gonna say. We was waiting on it. Y'all gonna drown us out. Y'all.
Man. It ain't about that, man. It ain't about
no, yeah. I'm a joke. It'd been all funny. It'd been all funny.
Most definitely. Because I definitely it's crazy though. A long time ago I was in high school, of course. And I used to watch Virginia State a lot, to be honest. I used to watch them a lot. I forgot the name of that the song that you guys played. It was like a fanfare, the band. It was
Matheny?
like a spirit song or something. What's the name of it?
Matheny?
No, it was like some horse or something like that. No.
Trojan Explosion.
Trojan Explosion.
Yeah,
I love that song. I love that song. I love that song.
There was a part 2 to that question, right? Let's say we guys never met, right? And I happen to run across Mr. Swain or you, Mr. Hicks, in the street and say, man, I got a drum line. They're getting ready to go up against Talladega's drum line. What advice would you give me?
Start with Dre.
It would start with Mr. Hicks.
My advice to y'all, play what y'all can play while y'all can play it.
Play what we can play while we can play it. Okay.
Play this one. That's it.
Oh, that's it? That's the advice?
That's it.
That's all.
Get it in while you fit in.
Well, I'll piggyback off what he said. That's something that I definitely, tell the students. We do it at practice and stuff like that. We go through I want to say mini battles. Sometimes I break off half, we have a big section. So I break off half the section, battle the other half of the section. Or I'll do the freshmen or battle the upperclassmen. Or I do the freshmen and sophomores, battle the juniors and seniors. So I try to have that camaraderie as far as when it's time to play, when we're at performance, so they can already know in their head how it might be when we see somebody. Because like I said, we don't have a football team. So when you see Talladega, you finna see Talladega because we don't have no time to waste. It's time to play. Y'all have football teams, y'all have, you have games and stuff like that to play all your material. Yeah. Once we get out there, it's time for us to play. You want to battle, we're gonna battle. We give you a good 7 seconds. If we don't hear no sticks clicking in 7 seconds, it's time for us to play again. Because now it's our showcase.
Yeah.
Some good advice, Mr. Hicks. I really like that. That's pretty much straightforward. Hey, my advice to you would be play what you can while you have the opportunity, because it's going to be a minute before you get a chance to play again.
Yeah, we take battles as showcases.
Yeah.
To be honest, to put material out there. That's more or less what it's about. I can tell the students. So it's more or less about recruitment. Every time a video is in front of you, it's about recruitment. What you need to, you don't want to go to a school and recruit or talk to a student. They don't even know who your school is. Of course, I have some places that I go and you'd be like, where is Talladega? Like, it's Alabama. And they'd be like, oh, okay. You saw a video. Wow, it's a lot of people. Wow, y'all seen those people? So it's more majority about recruitment and the videos and the product we're putting out.
Okay, cool. So Dre, you first. What are some of your most memorable and least memorable moments with the Drumline?
Most memorable moment would be, let's see. It'll probably be, what was it? Our first drum showcase, 2018 at Madison.
Oh, Madison.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a good
Where
show.
in New York?
That was a good show. It was in Madison, Louisiana.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And least favorite?
Least favorite moment would be when we traveled to, what was it? Langston University. And it was what? How many degrees, Swain? Like
super cold.
Way
Way
too cold out there.
They had bus problems and everything else.
Nobody from the South has no business being up there.
Okay. Swain, you next.
All right,
So the least first.
All right, my least favorite, and this isn't just one performance, this is every time this happens.
Okay.
When a stick drops. Every time we have a drop stick, and I don't want to keep thinking, it seems like it's a curse. I want to end this. Like, I do so much to make sure these folks keep control of their sticks, so certain stick, visuals and stuff like that. But every time we have a drop stick, that just pisses me off. That makes it like completely, I'm just over with it. Yeah, we lost, whatever. I don't care, that type of deal. But more or less just drop stick. But my best performance has to be when we did our very first drum show. It was in Augusta, Alabama. And that was in spring of 2014. That was our first time ever putting the drum section out there. We only had like 1 or 2 videos before then, but that was our first time actually going and doing a drum show. Our first time the drum section had a showcase, its entirety at all. That was the first time that we seen North Carolina A&T. To this day, we played in the stands. I hope somebody hear this. We played in the stands that day, and we played like 3 cases all on YouTube, and they would not play nothing. They would not play nothing. They wouldn't play nothing. We were just ready. We was ready to battle. But yeah, that was in 2014. That was more or less my highlight, because I knew once we did this, and that was something, like I said, I'm from Atlanta, so I'm so used to doing certain things that a lot of students at that time wasn't used to doing, as far as traveling and going to do actual drum showcases where you're actually doing stuff on the floor, you're moving around and stuff like that. That's one thing that I'm trying to implement more in the section at Talladega, where we do showcases, moving around, not just staying in a box. You might see us move around a little bit, but we're just taking steps as far as trying to get to the overall, how I want the section, to overall be. Bit more creativity instead of just standing in the box. Like I said on Percussion Instructor the other day, somebody had made a comment about swag bands at swag drum lines at showcase. So I was like, they gonna sit there and just bump, because that's what everybody think. That's more or less what everybody think. So I mean, that was my highlight, because I knew once we did that, we had more showcases where we were able to put the section out there to get more videos and just let people know what we had to offer at Talladega.
Thank you. That's really good points. So before we close out here, Mr. Swain, let's say my good colleague here, EP the Great, is a senior in high school, right? Let's just say that. And I know you got a friend down there at Fort Valley, right? And Elijah's looking really strong. He's like, man, I'm looking at Talladega, and I'm also looking at Fort Valley, going there. Give Elijah your best 30-second sales pitch on why you should come to Talladega.
Honestly, and this is no shade, this is my boy, like I said. Do you want to more or less be a part of a section, or do you want to be a part of a family? So that's the first thing I'm gonna talk about. Do you want to come and actually get to know people, do what you need to do academically, be successful, have a cool instructor like me? Because I feel like I'm one of the coolest, most down to earth percussion instructors out there. Like I said, that's why I had so many people come. But more or less, it's just like I just you don't want to lose. You want to battle people. You come to Talladega. Honestly, like we battle. We do all the things that you want to do. Like I said, football team or not, we do all the things you want to do. You see the people that you want to see, that a lot of students want to see. We see those sections.
Cool. I'm sold, Rick. I'm going out.
Hey, come on. Come on with it. Come on with it.
Good. Thank you for that. So, Mr. Swain and Mr. Hicks, I want to personally say thank you. You guys have really shed some light, because people out there, we know people out there are just, really talking about certain things that they really might not know about in regards to drumline sections. But I'm glad you came on and really cleared out and let us know, hey, this is how we do business at Talladega. This is what to expect here. It's a nurturing environment. So really thank you for that. So before we get ready to close it out, it's bonus time. And with our bonus time, got a question for you, Mr. Hicks. And we have Mr. Swain online as a perfect example, right? He's a drumline instructor. So let's say you go along that route, right? You have 30 days to get your hand on any HBCU drumline, and you have free reign to do whatever you want. Who would it be and why?
As far as what instructing them?
30 days, instructor, okay. Do whatever you want.
Honestly, I would stick with the home team, man. Definitely. I would definitely stick with my home team. Take over
Talladega.
He's like not for the answer that well.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, 2 weeks.
So we got two bonus questions.
Yeah, what's mine, man?
Well, not really a question. And I'm sure you've probably seen some past episodes, and you probably know what's coming up. Where your drumsticks and pad at?
I don't got them on me, man. To be honest with you,
somebody got to show us something.
Dre, gotta save him, Dre. Gotta save him.
I ain't straight. But my boy can right there. Draylon can definitely handle that right there, because I know he got this.
What's going on?
You got your sticks.
I need sticks.
Sticks in the pad, man. Show us something.
Quick.
Caught me down slipping, pal.
Oh, come on, man.
Mr. Swain.
Caught me slipping, man.
Hey, man, just whatever you want to do, Mr. Hicks, freestyle, whatever. Just give our viewers something.
30 seconds. It can't be that long. Best stuff.
I just play a little solo.
Oh, he's going all in, ain't
he? What? Has it been 30 seconds?
Okay.
Okay. Good. Thanks, man. Thanks. So thank you guys. I enjoyed this stuff.
All right, so we have come to an end. I want to thank Mr. Swain, Draylon Hicks, for taking time off their day, to come on Drumline Talk. For all the viewers, please like, share, tell your family, friends. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud. This is for the culture. It's not for us. We want to let you know of what these great drum lines are doing. Other than that, Carter Reed.
Can I say one thing before we leave?
Yes, sir.
If you are interested in Talladega College, I just want to put it out there. We have a band website. It's called degaband.net. You can go on there, go to Future Bandsman. You can upload your interview as far as your the questions that we're going to ask you. You can go on there, answer those questions. You're able to upload your audition piece as well through that website, and also to apply to the college, talladega.edu. And if you have any questions as far as scholarship goes, if you don't want to use those two platforms, you can email me at dswain@talladega.edu.
Good stuff.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. Everybody be safe. Till next time.
All right. Thank you again.